There are organizations that are never mentioned in the news, security structures that do not make loud statements, do not issue press releases, and do not step up to microphones after successful operations. Their work is to remain invisible. They do not create threats, they prevent them. They never announce their presence, but the life of the most important person in the country depends on their actions. This is about the Federal Protective Service of the Russian Federation, the FSO. It is the most secretive, the most dangerous, and possibly the most professional security detail for a head of state that exists today. Many imagine a president's bodyguard as a man in a suit and dark sunglasses standing behind him with an earpiece in his ear. But the FSO operates on a completely different level. It is not just about people, it is a system. A finely tuned mechanism functioning with precision down to the millisecond, in which every element, whether a person, a vehicle, a satellite station, or a software module, is subordinated to a single purpose: total security for the president. The service protects not only the physical body of the head of state, but also his information, his surroundings, his movements, even the air and water he comes into contact with. The history of the FSO traces back to the Soviet era. In the Soviet Union, this responsibility belonged to the 9th Directorate of the KGB, a special structure tasked with protecting the highest-ranking party and state officials. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the structure did not disappear. It simply changed form and became an independent service. In the year 1996, the Federal Protective Service of the Russian Federation was officially established. But in reality, it was already a fully formed and well-tuned special service that simply received a new name. Today, the FSO is not just Putin's security, it is a full-fledged shadow army. The service has everything: aviation, unmanned systems, special communications, radio-electronic intelligence centers, mobile command headquarters, its own training grounds, its own training centers, its own rapid response teams. And all of this is strictly classified. Maintenance personnel, technicians, snipers, analysts, cryptographers, motorcade drivers, all of them are part of a single machine that works with no margin for error. The size of the FSO is officially undisclosed. According to various estimates, the service may have from 20,000 to 50,000 personnel. Only a small percentage of these are bodyguards standing near the president. The majority are specialists working in the background. Every presidential trip is an operation involving hundreds of people. They prepare the route, inspect buildings, test the air for toxins, check the electromagnetic environment, install signal and drone jamming equipment. They interview staff, synchronize their watches, and test communication channels. It is like a military operation, only it happens every day and remains invisible. At every public event, Putin is surrounded by what is known as the first security ring. This is 6 to 12 agents standing next to or one step away from him. These people are the elite, and they train daily. Shooting, hand-to-hand combat, client shielding, crowd behavior, coordination with one another, all of it practiced to the point of automatic instinct. The second ring consists of mobile tactical teams, snipers on rooftops, agents blended into the crowd, and interception teams in vehicles. These agents are equipped with automatic weapons, thermal imaging sights, and communication systems. In the event of an attack, they are tasked with creating a fire shield, blocking the aggressor and evacuating the president to a pre-designated point. They do not wait for orders, they act according to pre-practiced scenarios. The third ring is electronic and cybersecurity. Mobile signal jammers, drone detection systems, wireless signal interception, GPS suppression, residence shielding, anti-explosive frames, encrypted government communications, and scanning of information for potential threats. All of this is controlled by the FSO. Short-range air defense systems are deployed above Putin's residences. Before each public appearance, the area is surveyed using drones, the radio frequency spectrum is tested, and threat simulations are conducted. The FSO does not simply protect the president, it manages the entire infrastructure of presidential power, from the motorcade to the elevator. Every vehicle in the motorcade is a modified, armored, electronics-packed machine capable of withstanding gunfire, explosions, and chemical attacks. The motorcade is always duplicated. Sometimes 3 or 4 identical convoys leave in different directions, and only one of them carries the president. The drivers undergo special training in combat driving, ramming, evacuation, and maneuvers under fire. The training of the president's bodyguards is a separate story. No one gets in through connections. All candidates go through a multi-level selection process, including stress tests, polygraph interrogations lasting many hours, psychological stability assessments, physical fitness standards, proficiency with multiple types of weapons, medical aid skills, and foreign language knowledge. Service in Special Forces units, most often the FSB or GRU, is mandatory. Training continues even during service. Assassination attempts, evacuations, and attacks involving firearms, gas, and chemical agents are simulated. They practice their actions in water, in the air, and on land. There are exercises with combat helicopters, snipers, and explosive devices. The FSO uses the latest technologies. There are many rumors about body doubles, and all of them are based on the fact that the FSO skillfully uses them for distraction. Is it possible that Putin has body doubles? Likely, yes. But only the innermost circle knows for sure, and it is the FSO that coordinates all such operations. Rumors speak of mobile medical units traveling as part of the motorcade, of facial recognition systems performing reverse identity checks on the president, and of backup evacuation plans involving helicopters, underground tunnels, and even armored trains. The FSO is a structure beyond time. It lives by its own rhythm, by its own laws. Its work is invisible, but it is precisely this work that defines how stable the institutions of power in Russia are. The people standing next to Putin are not just guards. They are the elite, the backbone, the president's personal army. They have no right to emotion, mistakes, or weakness. And perhaps it is their silent shadow that makes him so unreachable. However, the main advantage of the FSO is not even its technology or discipline. The most important thing is the principle of preemption. People within the system are trained to think 2 steps ahead, to identify potential threats even before they have fully formed. Interestingly, the president is far from the only protection target for the FSO. The service is also responsible for securing other high-ranking officials, the Prime Minister, the Chairman of the Federation Council, the Speaker of the State Duma, the Chairman of the Constitutional Court, and others. There is another aspect of the FSO's work that is rarely discussed: control over strategically important facilities. Residences, command bunkers, and secret sites, all of these are under the constant supervision of the FSO. There are elite security agencies in the world: the United States Secret Service, protection units of Mossad, special teams of MI5, GSG-9 in Germany, and GIGN in France. But the FSO is something entirely different. It is an organization born in the cold shadow of Lubyanka, forged in the paranoia of Soviet times, yet evolved into a technological titan of the 21st century. And when we see the calm face of the president on the screen, and it seems that everything is under control, somewhere nearby a whole army of invisible people is already at work, capable of stopping any threat within fractions of a second. Most likely we will never know all the details of the FSO's operations. We will not hear confessions, we will not see reports from their training exercises, and we will not get video footage from their training bases. But that is precisely where their strength lies. Their work begins where everything we are used to calling security ends. This is a service that does not wait for trouble. It lives in readiness for the fact that trouble could happen at any moment. And thanks to this, it usually does not happen.